Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today we're going to be talking with the owner of a smaller brand, one that I was introduced to by, friend of the show, Luke, Mr. My 635 millimeter. But it's a smaller brand that's been around for 6 years, though. So and they're gaining ground. So I'm going to be joined by Eaton, who is one of the two owners of Black Stogies Cigar Company. Unfortunately, Eaton's partner Keith was unable to join us. He had a prior engagement, so I apologize to Keith for not being able to have him on as well. But I had a nice, good, long conversation with Eaton, and we touched on a variety of different things, and we'll just go ahead and jump into that. So I'll catch you guys on the other side. And I'm joined today by Eaton of Black Stogies Cigars. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. This has been a bit of a long time happening.
Yes.
So Luke, Mr. My 635 millimeter, he put us in touch a little bit back. And, schedules just kind of kept doing this and this and this, and we just never, but then we saw each other at PCA, and we both got out the phones, and we're like, damn it, let's make this happen. And here we are. Now, we are missing Keith.
That's right.
So, unfortunately, Keith, you aren't a part of this one, but
sorry, bro.
Sucks to be you. So, but I have Eaten. So, I would like to talk to you about your brand, how you got going, and everything else. But this is a cigar show, and so I would like to fire up a cigar. And I have one of your cigars here. I actually have a big fat cigar from you. I have a big fat barber pole here. Okay. This would
professional
be
cut.
Professional cut.
That's right.
And,
professional cut.
I was going to read off the information off your site, but you're the guy. So why don't you tell me about the professional cut?
So a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but Keith is the professional. Okay. Keith actually is the master blender. He creates all the blends, all the profiles, all the sizes, things of that nature. But the professional cut, a little bit about it. It's a Maduro leaf barber pole along with a Connecticut leaf. The tobacco filler and the leaf is created in Nicaragua, so it's a Puro. Shout out to Lanuza, who's our manufacturer of our magnificent cigars. That professional cut, a little story behind it. It's pretty unique, all our cigars, but with this particular cigar, Keith Lyon brother is a professional barber. He was one of the first people to invest in us as far as timing and branding and telling people about it, and still to this day. So by him being a professional barber, we wanted to pay homage to him, and that's why we created that particular barber pole, where you can see as an actual barber, red, white, and blue. So we wanted to create a barber pole to have some significance to pay homage to him.
That's cool. I like the fact that there's like a point to it, and it's not just, oh, it looked good. It's
right.
Yeah, there's like you're incorporating your friends and in this case your investor and everything into the cigar. So I like that. Now, are you going to be smoking? You're in a little what looks like a sunroom or off room here. I don't know.
Well, I'm actually outside on my patio in the back. I got a choice to make. To be honest with you. I got a couple of we have 9 total blends, but you have one, and I have 4 others here that I need to make a choice on. One is not in production anymore right now. That's the number 5. That was our anniversary cigar.
Yeah. Okay.
Our continuous running is our Oak City, so it's a little mild cigar for tonight. I think that's where I might go at. Then a top choice that everybody loves is the Black Knight.
Okay.
And then, of course, last but not least, got to let everybody know about the 1911, the newest release.
Yes, we talked a little bit about that at PCA, but we will talk on that a little bit more here in a minute.
Definitely. So I think I'm going to fire up probably Connecticut, the Oak City.
Okay.
Something pretty light and chill for the night. It's nice weather today.
There you go. Yeah, it's been pleasant here as well, so that's good. Well, it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. 2 Guys have been around for over 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows 2 Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry.
Family owned and operated, twoguyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to twoguyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Remember, tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And keep in mind, you need to go to twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my cigar. So, now, based on your website, from what I could tell, do these blends come only in the one Vitola, the one size?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So this guy is just a 6x60, and that's the only way it comes.
Yep.
And then you had another one that looked kind of like a little fat, chubby, kind of, I hesitate to use it because I know it's from another brand, but I'll go ahead. It's a bit flying piggish kind of size,
That's exactly what it is. It's a pig fly.
Okay.
Right? It's called a Boss Hog.
Okay.
And of course, like I stated earlier, all our cigars have little meanings that reflect who we are.
Yeah.
Keith is from the country. He's from a place called Pikesville, North Carolina. I'm from the country also, a place called Fairfax, South Carolina. And when Keith created that particular cigar, I saw the pigtail on top. And immediately I was like, the Dukes has it, Boss Hog. There you go.
I love it. Now, where are you guys based out of? If I can ask.
Oh, yeah. We're based out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yep.
I've never been to North Carolina.
Oh, we got to get you here. We got to get you
here. I got people. Now, Charlotte's in North Carolina, correct? Okay.
That's where I went to college at.
I always get the it's one of those things, like, for whatever reason, you say Charlotte, South Carolina. It's like, well, no, that doesn't quite sound right, but it sounds close. So, okay, I get confused. But, okay, so you went to college there. Now, that does bring us back to the 1911.
Right.
Because you and Keith are both in the same fraternity.
Not the same. Different.
No, different ones. You're right. I'm
different
sorry.
Fraternity. No worries.
Hence the two characters on the band.
That's right.
Okay, now I know. But you were honoring your fraternities with that cigar.
Exactly.
Dude, you're trying. I'm having to recall information from like a month ago here. It's like
look, your mind is strong. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and accept that. But anyway, so let's get into you a little bit. So tell us about yourself. Like, give us information. Tell us about you. Let's get to know you.
Again, I'm from a small country town in South Carolina called Fairfax, Allen County. Population of probably 4,000, if that. Went to college, background in computer science information systems. I've worked with a lot of different facilities in DC, Maryland, Virginia, some government. And then I went full time.
Okay.
I created a commercial cleaning company. We've been in business over 11 years now, and Black Stogies. So it's been an amazing journey. We love it.
That's awesome. So Black Stogies is your focus and your passion right now, but you also have the cleaning company that helps pay the bills.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. No, I get that. And that's the thing, because based off of, what I was looking at, it looks like you guys have been around since 2020.
2020. Yeah. 6 years.
And 6 years, it can fly by real quick, and it's not an insignificant number of years, but like, dude, it's the cigar industry, and that's a hard thing to break into. And so, like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, if you're 6 years old, the odds are it's not your, like, bread winning, like, this is not the money generating machine for you and your household. Like, so, okay, so that answers that question. The cleaning company. Right. Yeah, okay. So then, so how did you and Keith meet?
Oh, man, real simple. I actually left Charlotte after college, visited a couple other cities and states, and then ended up in Raleigh. Keith was already here. So at that time, I petitioned our lodge. We're also members of Prince Hall affiliated Masonic Lodge, and we're also Shriners Nobles.
Okay.
So at that time when I petitioned, Keith was the worship master at the time. He was the leader. So when I petitioned the lodge, Keith brought me under, and he was kind of like a mentor through navigating that, which that was this December will be 20 years ago. So we've been friends for over 20 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you guys are doing this. So
yeah. And we have other businesses together too. And Keith has other businesses as well.
So you're just a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's full-fledged.
That's all right. That's good. No, I respect that. I mean, it's one of those things. I always joke that I'm ruined. If my business ever goes under, it's like I got to figure out something else to do because I'm ruined. I'm not able to work for somebody else at this point.
Oh man, it's not anymore, right?
No. Once you make your own schedule, make your own rules and everything else, it's like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, very cool. So then how do you get in? Well, okay. Before we get into how do you start Black Stogies, how do you get into cigars? It's that question. It's the one question.
I love it. You know why? For me, I didn't get into cigars. Cigars kind of got into me.
Okay.
So I used to own a store here in Raleigh, North Carolina, called Black Friday Market. Myself and about 8 other magnificent people. Nice. So we opened it up during the pandemic. It was great. We made over $1.5 million for business owners. It was phenomenal. And it got to the point when we saw where we felt it did what it needed. And the purpose of the store was to create exposure to local products. So we will have you to come to the store. Let's just say you like your newspaper, for instance. Yeah. So you will bring your newspaper. We will set it on the shelf and we will sell it for you and we will promote it because someone may not know about your newspaper. So we wanted to bring exposure to all different types of businesses. So you rented a space in the store, did phenomenal. Got to the point how it came into my lap. I was trying to figure out what I could put into the store at that time. Okay. Keith came around the corner smoking a Maduro cigar. So hence, that's where Black Stogies came from.
Okay.
So when he was smoking Black Stogies, I was like, yo, won't we attempt to be distributors for other Black cigar owners or other cigar owners, being honest? Yeah. And then after a while, we attempted to work with a few people, but in our opinion, and no shade to anyone, we felt they were operating almost like a hustle versus a true business. Okay. And which is fine. It's no knock. Everybody just do things differently, right? So that's when I was like, you know what, Keith, we can do this on our own. So we're sitting around, we started thinking about names and stuff. And I was like, at the time, I'm gonna be honest, it was 6 years ago. I didn't touch a cigar. I didn't even like to be in a room with a cigar.
And this is what I'm asking. It's like so I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, well, this sounds like how you started the business. This doesn't sound like how you got into cigars. But okay, so you're like all in to the business side of cigars.
All in
at the start.
At the start.
Okay.
At the very start. And I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even like right now, if we were sitting out on my deck or I'm sitting there, you smoking, I'll be 5 feet away talking to you. I just didn't like being around it. Yeah. So then we started our own cigars and we started looking and searching and finding. And of course, going through different factories and people telling us this and then people telling us nothing. So at that time we kept searching. Thank God for the internet. We searching. Again, my background is in IT. So I know how to do a little searching and we found our distributor. Our manufacturer. And once we found our manufacturer, we did tests for about a year and a half to 2 years, going to different lounges, providing the people and that's how I kind of got more into it. Keith has been a smoker over 30 years.
Okay, so at the same time, he brings the cigar experience.
He brought the experience. So then he said to me, how are you going to be in cigars if you're not smoking a cigar?
Valid question.
And that's when I said, okay, well, I'm going to try. And I did just like he taught me. Started on the bottom level with little something sweet, a little something mild. And then, my palate has finally increased and we're here now.
Okay. So are you smoking a Black Knight now? Or is that still a little much for you?
I smoke all of them. Be honest with you. Okay. I smoke all of them, because I definitely I don't want someone and that was the running joke when I'm glad you said that. When the Black Knight came out, it took me almost 6 months to try it.
Okay.
So one day we went to our home lounge, shout out to Abby's, and one of our main customers was like, so what do you think about the Black Knight? I said, I don't know. I never tried it. He said, don't you ever tell nobody that.
Yeah, dude, you're the freaking owner. It's like you and Keith are owners, man. It's like You have tried and loved every blend, whether you have or not. You have tried and loved every blend.
And I was like, from there, I was like, I will not ever say that, and I'm gonna try every one, and I've tried every one. And of course, I'm biased, but yeah, it shifts. That Black Knight will shift and get me a little woozy.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, everybody's got their palate, so you know you have your ones that maybe you prefer, but you're making cigars for everybody, and some people like the stronger stuff, and some people like something a little more mild, so that's okay. Okay, so yeah, so holy shit, so you just dove right into the deep end of the pool, and everything else. So like, so when was it you had your first cigar then?
I had my first cigar 6 years ago.
Okay, so this was in that same time period.
Yep,
okay,
it's in the same time frame. It took a little while, maybe 5 to 6 years ago. It took a little while for me to really try it. But when I did it, of course, I would like take a couple of draws and then pull away, set it down. Oh, it's burning out. Yeah, because I'm doing all the talking to let it burn out.
So I got to ask, did you inhale it?
I did not.
Good for you.
I did not.
That is something. So many first-time smokers, man. It's just one of those things. They just, I don't know if it's just they think that you have to, or if it's reflex. Maybe they've had cigarettes or something else in the past, and so they just inhale. And man, that is an unpleasant day right there.
Yeah. Well, everybody said it. Don't inhale it. Don't inhale it. Don't.
Okay, good.
They was telling me don't inhale it. Don't inhale it. So, but I've lit a cigar for someone for their first time and say don't inhale it, and they still inhale it. So fortunate I didn't inhale it by listening to them say don't inhale it.
Yeah, it's just reflex for some of these folks, and it's just like I said, man. I know I've accidentally, inhaled it a couple times. Hell, I did it on an episode not too terribly long ago, and man, the screenshots that my listeners sent me of that, it was.
Do you retrohale?
I do, and that was the problem. So I pulled the smoke in, and my brain said push it out my nose, but my body for whatever reason said swallow it. So I just was like, I just took all that smoke in, and dude, I very nearly lost it on the show here. Like, and I don't edit, I don't do anything. It's like, it just I knew if nothing else, my listeners were really going to enjoy watching me have that pain. So and they did. They were true to form. So fun. So let's go through the whole process thing. Cause it's one thing to like say like, oh, we started this company and blah, blah, blah. And we found this manufacturer and, and everything else. But like that, like, that's not an easy thing. Like a lot of people like talk, I mean, dude, you go to any lounge, you're going to hear the same shit from different people. You're going to hear, oh, I'd love to open up my own cigar shop. This is what I do, blah, 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 blah. Or you hear, oh, I'd love to have my own cigar line. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And it's one thing to be sitting around smoking with your buddies and to do that and to talk about it, but it's a totally different thing to actually like dive in and do it. And so like, where do you even begin? Because like, you've got licensing, you've got, finding the person to make your cigars, then you have the whole blending process and distribution and shipping. And I mean, where does that all start?
Oh man, that's a great question. So, of course, when we started, we attempted to reach out to several different people, and that's one reason why we call the Black Knight the Black Knight. If you know anything about chess, it's one of the strongest pieces on the chessboard. It moves in an L shape, forward, backwards, and it also, I love to say, leap over pieces on the board. I came up with that name for the Black Knight specifically because it's a full body and it's strong. So that means it constantly reminds me of the times that we contacted people, asked questions about, boxes or, should we change the size or should we do this? Should we do that? So when we first started the business, we got samples. That was the first thing that we did. We wanted to see if at least they can the craftsmanship. That's extremely important to us. We want to make sure the craftsmanship and we wanted to have flavorful cigars. We didn't want something that was just overpowering, too strong, or whatever all the time. We wanted something that you could taste notes, actually taste notes and stuff of that nature. So Keith, he was working on that wholeheartedly with the manufacturer. Myself on the other side, again, the business side, I like to do the paperwork. I like to make sure we got the name set up. I like to make sure we find the correct distributor. I like to make sure that when our product is coming from Nicaragua to our distributor, that we understand what it's doing, how it's doing. But what's most important to us was we went to Nicaragua.
Okay.
So a lot of people love to say, hey, I got cigars from Nicaragua. I got this, I got that. Not to say that it ain't true, but if you see it, your feet in the soil, you see yourself in the fields, then it validates it, if that makes sense. So we do everything from seed to box.
Okay.
So our manufacturer, our main grower, he's been in the business 80 years.
Okay.
So he started at 13. Amazing, phenomenal. The soil, I'm not sure if you've ever been to Nicaragua or anything, but the soil is rich, is beautiful. The weather, everything, the climate is just so amazing for the tobacco to grow. So we seen the seeds, and one thing I want to clear up too.
Yeah.
A lot of times people love to say, do you have Cubans?
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of people don't realize now, Cuba is the Mecca. Cuba is the home. Cuba has done a lot, but a lot of families have transported their Cuban seeds to Nicaragua, and they're planting their seeds in the Nicaraguan soil. So I want people to understand and know Nicaragua is the new wave.
No, for sure.
No disrespect to Cuba anywhere, but it's the new wave, right?
I mean, dude, there's so many, and I'll say it, there's so many problems in Cuba right now. Not just the whole what's currently going on in Cuba, which is a whole different thing, but like just in terms of tobacco production. I mean, they don't rotate the crops in the fields, so the nutrients in the soil is just freaking gone, and just there's all sorts of different problems to where it's resulted in. It's not resulting in the quality of cigars that maybe historically people remember, but it's not coming out of there. So.
Exactly. So we tried other blends in different areas. We tried Honduras. We tried the DR, places like that, and we're toggling with another blend from another country also. But we did like the fact that it was pure. What was really, really important to us is that we're family based. So our manufacturer, they are from Nicaragua, 100%. It's their third generation being into the business, and it's family owned. So everything they do.
13-year-old boy started with his dad and okay. So
you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So it was amazing. So, it's 100% pure tradition. And that's something that we really enjoy. That's why we came up with the slogan, Cigars for the Soul, because we're talking about an 83-year-old man who's still managing the crops, and they actually walk and they thumb to plant the seed. It's no machinery.
Oh, okay.
It's not, they're planting the old school way. And we wanted to bring the Nicaragua soul to the United States, where they create our cigars.
Okay.
So we go all the way from the seed. We the grow process as it grow, they take it out, moving in another tray, plant it to the field to grow into this beautiful crop. Keith called it the buck barn, is what they used to call old tobacco. That's 15 feet high. We're talking with tobacco everywhere.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, I think it was 5 to 8, if I'm not making a mistake, with over $1 million worth of tobacco in each bar.
Wow.
Very, very humbling experience. Very humbling.
I'm sure. So when you're down there and you're watching all this, I mean, what sort of things like stood out to you, aside from the fact that they're doing it the old school way and everything else? I mean, like, was this the only manufacturer you were looking at the time, or were there other ones that were like, I guess my question, how did you settle or not settle? How did you decide on this
Right.
manufacturer
Well,
versus?
there are thousands of them.
Yeah,
You know,
well, that's what I'm
there are
saying. I mean, like
thousands of them, right?
you have options.
Honestly, the key for me right now, if I pick up my phone and I go to WhatsApp, my call is answered. I'm not a number.
Okay.
I'm an actual person.
Yeah.
That's extremely, extremely important. If I send a text, I think Nicaragua is an hour behind, depending upon daylight saving time. It might be 2, but if I'm an hour ahead and it's 2 in the morning, I can say, and I got an idea. I can send a message, and guess what? My response time is usually 15, no matter than 30 minutes every
Okay.
time. 6 years strong.
Well, that counts for a lot. Customer service counts for a lot.
It's extremely important. Any
Yeah.
issues, if I got a customer state that something's not right, this, that, the third, pick up the phone, let them know the issue is resolved.
So okay, so being having your tobacco and everything sourced and based out of Nicaragua, um, how have things been with tariffs and all that? We don't have to get into the.
I'm gonna say this. I'm glad.
We'll just talk very factual.
It's been a motherfucker.
I that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's been a motherfucker.
Well, because I mean, my God, last year in like what was it, October or whatever, when they're talking about like, oh, you could be looking at 100% tariff and all this and everything like that. I mean, like, surely you guys were sitting back going, shit, what are we gonna do?
Right, and the beauty about it, I wish Keith was here. Keith been doing this for 30 years, so and Keith smokes over 5 cigars a day.
Okay,
different.
Yeah,
Keith palate. It don't matter what he smokes. He's gonna try any and everything. So one benefit about us being business partners is Keith knew pricing very, very well.
Yeah.
So when we first created our cigars, everybody typically do either a box of 10 or 12 or maybe 15, maybe 20 max.
Yeah.
We do 24.
Okay.
Average on 24, except for 2 blends. That's the 1911 and the number 5. Those are only 2 that we did not do a quantity of 24. But when you do the math on it, it equates to really 20 cigars that you're paying for, that you're not being charged too much, but it also covers costs for tariffs and shipping. And a lot of people don't realize it's coming from Nicaragua. So you got a shipping cost from there. You got tariffs that you got to pay. Then you got your distributor that picks it up. Then you got to pay your distributor for picking it up. Then you got a distributor fee that they got to have to put it on the shelf. Then they got a fee where we have to pay to ship it out to you.
Yeah.
But through it all, we have not had to change prices.
Okay.
We have not had to change prices. And that's why I said we're in an area where it definitely benefits our customers.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because, I mean, let's be real. A lot of companies last year that were up in prices, based upon tariffs and everything else. And, again, I'm saying that's not you, but I'm not seeing a lot of those companies racing to lower those prices since some of those tariffs came back down. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
And a lot of major companies are increasing their box counts and unfortunately, but fortunately for us, our door is being knocked on a lot more because we have a quality product.
No, that's
at
great.
A very reasonable price.
So so now, okay, you were. I know you were at TPE last year. Did you do TPE again this year?
Yes, we did.
Okay, when did you start hitting the trade show circuit?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yep. When we first met you at TPE was our first trade show.
Okay, so TPE 25. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was amazing. 25. For us, it was amazing.
Okay.
You hear a lot of people when we ask people in the industry, the first thing they say, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Keith and I, we like to know why not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, but we need to see it for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So we went there, and honestly, TPE, shout out to TPE, shout out to every business partnership that we received from them. Our first trade show, we had, I think, 30 or 35 customers.
Okay.
That was great for us.
Yeah.
That was great for us to be at a trade show for the very first time. It was phenomenal. And we're still carrying all 35 of those companies to this day.
That's great. Well, that's good just in and of itself, is that,
Yeah.
you get the return buys and everything else. So
That's right.
And
so even TPE this year allowed us to do a one-on-one cutting light. They reached out to us to educate their customers from a cigar perspective.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Because I mean, I didn't make TPE this year. It was just unfortunately just too close to PCA for me to be able to do both.
Right.
Like that and everything.
Right.
And and this is no slight to TPE, but I did hear that because of that time proximity, that it was a little light on the cigar side. But I'm glad to hear that you had a good experience there this year.
And this year, it was pretty much, we added probably added about 10 to 15 other accounts. So we pretty much double it, about 10 more accounts added to it this year.
Well, and what's kind of nice about it is that even though it is close in proximity to PCA this year, geographically it wasn't, so you had the opportunity to pick up some West Coast accounts, I think, at that show. Whereas, New Orleans, you had the opportunity more for Midwest and the East Coast. And so you're kind of seeing some different folks at the two shows.
That's correct.
So how was PCA for you?
First time experience.
Okay. So this is your first year this year.
First PCA, phenomenal. And which I was surprised, we gained about 50 new customers.
That's awesome.
At PCA to be the first time ever.
Yeah.
Which was very fulfilling, where people was coming up and they said, I saw your name on the board. We had to come by. I've been hearing. So, sometimes you think you're using social media, you're on the road. Last year we did 36 cities. This year alone already we done did about 36 cities since January. So to see people embracing us, telling us that, we heard a lot about you. We got to try you. That was very special to us. Mm-hmm. Even kind of in the back.
You guys were kind of unfortunately tucked in that little corner back there.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you though, you weren't in the worst corner though, because so typically, and I've heard this from other people, but I watched it happen this year. I made a point of watching. So when the doors open and people come in to the hall, most people, vast majority, went to the right.
Yeah.
And that's where you guys were. You were in that. Yeah. So like they're starting off their day. If they're going aisle by aisle, they're starting off and hitting you guys like right at the beginning. Right. So that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, those poor souls in the back left corner on the totally diagonal across the hall from you guys.
Right.
They were the ones that were hosed, I think, because man, they were back in that corner over there, and they were by the time if people are going aisle by aisle, they're the last ones getting hit. Whereas you guys are the first ones getting hit, so you're getting them when they still have money.
Yeah, we had a lot. we had a lot of traffic, which was great.
That is good.
And a fun fact, which was pretty cool. Shout out to Villiger Lounge. He was our neighbor, but we spoke to him maybe almost a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And he said to us almost a year ago, he said, hey, if we ever meet up, we have a discussion, I'm going to put your cigars in my lounge. We didn't even know we were by each other.
Yeah.
So we ended up being neighbors, started talking, and guess what he did? He was a man of his word.
That's awesome.
He's a man of his word. So we really appreciate you, Villiger, for doing that for us.
That's great. Yeah. I love hearing that. So PCA went well. And so then since PCA, it's just continuing the trend and going on trips and, doing what you're doing?
So we definitely did our X's and O's for what PCA was about.
Yeah.
We kind of realized, we want to open our booth a little more to where we were at. Booth size was great for us. But we had a table in the front, so we're gonna change it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
From that perspective, our distributors did a great job with providing us with the documents and the forms and everything we needed to make it easy for people to take orders and things of that nature. And then now we just got back from Charlotte last Wednesday. I think I'm not sure if I told you this or not, but we went down, did a cut and light, and a total of 7 days, not seven. Yeah, it got to be 7 business days for them because I think they open on Sundays. But 7 business days, we sold 166 cigars.
That's awesome.
In 7 business days, and then we were able to go by a few other lounges that heard about us and that's interested and ready for us to do some things. I can't reveal this yet. We just got an international call today.
Okay.
So someone want us to come to them internationally. So once that is 100% confirmed, I'm gonna spill the beans to you first.
Boy, that's a whole different experience doing it on the international front, just from the conversations I've had from others. Because, like, you know, here in the States, you know, you've got brokers and reps and everything's in house. Whereas, at least, you know, in Europe and all that, you have the distributor, and the distributor has that whole sales team. And basically, you just have to get in with the distributor, and then they go out and push your stuff. But interesting. Well, very cool. Well, I hope that works out for you, because I'll tell you, you know, I think there's always growth opportunity in the States, but like the thing is, you know, the States, yes, it's the biggest cigar market in the world, but man, there's a ton of competition. Overseas, you know, I think a lot of companies are looking at that as that untapped market for anything other than Cubans, which is accurate, but I think there's also that kind of like, this is the sweet spot. You get in now, that's fine. The longer you wait to get in, now you're just another brand coming in, whereas everybody's already. But this is your opportunity to get established early as like an alternative. So no, I think that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that for you.
Yeah, that we had a call today, man. I was excited. It was like, wow. You know, like I said, you know you're putting in the work. You know you doing everything 100% the best that you can, and to get these type of responses. I mean, again, we're 6 years in, barely just hit 6. I think April, May, barely hit 6 years. To be in over 150 lounges, to travel to all these cities and different lounges, being requested, you know, not just knocking on the door, you know, but being requested. It's amazing. It's words can't even describe how I feel right now about it.
That's awesome. So, okay, we've talked about some of the highs. I got to ask, what have been some of the big challenges you guys have faced? Because, like, you know, obviously between regulation and legalization and this and that and whatever, I mean, there's a lot that's been going on in the 6 years that you've been active. So, like, you know, I mean, my God, you know, there was the whole FDA with the predicate blends and everything that was still going on when you guys launched. I mean, so how do you navigate all of the challenges?
You keep going.
Yeah.
You know, being as you say, a serial entrepreneur, to anybody listening to this, if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or you are an entrepreneur, but sometimes you second guess, the number one thing with being an entrepreneur is resolving problems. If you can resolve a problem, you can be an entrepreneur. And by facing these problems, we had to figure out how to overcome.
So what problems did you guys face? Let's go through them. Let's talk about it, because I'm curious, because like this is the nuts and bolts stuff that like I said, people all sit around and think, oh, it'd be so great to do this, but like, man, there's a lot. So I'm really curious as to like all the trials and tribulations you guys dealt with to get here.
So from like, how can I say it? Shipping was a problem at one time. Tariffs, stuff of that nature. You know, one time our product sat on the dock almost 60 days. So with that being said, we don't even put that in production.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there. I mean, so that's a loss.
Yeah.
We're talking over 10,000 cigars. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there. We can't put a product out there that, you know, that's not going to represent who we truly are.
Well, yeah.
So now it's officially a loss.
Yeah, I mean, if that cigar's sitting in a hot shipping container on a dock for 2 months, I mean, like,
it's a loss.
It's just done. Yeah.
So now our manufacturer not going to say, you know, their fault.
Well, yeah.
They're not going to say that. So now we got to take that hit. And then we also got to make sure that we can keep production going. So we had to take a gamble on knowing that it was sitting, but then make another order
Yeah.
So when that comes in, we got to get that trashed. It's trash.
Yeah.
It's gone. You know.
Yeah.
So that was one.
Okay. Before you get, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did you get your hands on any of those, and did you try smoking any of them just to see how they were?
My tester did. My master tester.
Yeah.
And you know, some people say let them sit, put them in the you know, you can bring them back to life, this, that, the third. But we're not that type of company.
Yeah.
We're not that company. We're not going to. We rather lose 10,000 cigars than to lose one customer.
No,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
say that again. We'd rather lose 10,000 cigars than to lose one customer. Our customer is who makes us. We can't do nothing without our customer. And that word of mouth is extremely important. That customer says, and which everybody got a different palate, right? But if that customer said it's no good and it catches the right ear and the right trouble, then you're in trouble. So yeah, we took the hit. It is what it is, but we overcame it. We had to make a decision. Dump it. Dump it. You know, that type of thing. I and then you say hurdle. So I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but one thing I don't understand and decision making with lounges.
Okay.
There's been lounges that, not the one this weekend, but we did. I mean, 7 days. You're doing 166 cigars in 7 days, gone completely out. Then you texting us or sending us a message saying, "Yo, they all gone. It's been phenomenal. Everybody love it." Then you go cold turkey.
No reorder.
Confused.
Yeah.
You sent messages of excitement, or lounges where customers are going in asking, wanting, texting, no reorder. But then there's some companies, major companies, some boutique companies or whatnot. You buy 60 boxes but we're selling out consistent. Every time you bring our product in, you selling out consistent. I want to have a conversation with a lounge owner. If there's a lounge owner listening to this, I really want to have a conversation to understand the logic behind it. I don't understand. If it's making money and it's making it quickly for you because your customers are enjoying it, why do sometimes you just disappear?
I can't imagine a good reason why they would do that. The only thing I can possibly think of is that for whatever reason, they just don't have the money at the time to do the reorder. But then you'd think that it would still be in the back of their mind. Like at some point, when I do have some scratch, I need to get back in touch with these guys and get their product in. But if you're at the point that you're selling out of cigars and doing all this and everything else, and you still don't have money for a reorder, then that becomes a question of how is that lounge or that shop being ran? You know, like what kind of financial burn are they going through that they can be selling products but still not have money for reorder?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And we get a lot of reorders without a doubt, and thank you to everybody. But some of the lounges that I just, you know, it's in a prominent area. It's in areas sometimes where we're well known. Mm-hmm. We have one lounge here. We call our home lounge, Abby's. Abby's do probably 800 to 1,000 cigars a month.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
And that's just yours, or that's
just my cigar.
Just yours. Okay, so yeah, they're moving a lot of products.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And they re-up without a doubt. But then you have other lounges. Like I said, I'm just curious to know, you know, why do you feel you sell it? Is it one time we had somebody say it sold too quick?
How is that a problem?
It was like, what?
How is that a problem? If you're at the point that it's selling too quick, you get on the phone and you do another reorder. That's at least what logic tells me.
And the blessing with us, per box, you're making a 48 to 51% return on your investment per box. Per box.
So yeah. So if they're moving the product,
I'm asking the lounge, please tell me, let me know because that's why when you said problem, I'm one of those critical thinkers.
Yeah.
So I like to know where does the ball drop? What do we need to do
Where's the
to
breakdown
accommodate?
here? Yeah.
What do we need to like? I know it ain't the product because if it was the product, then it wouldn't have sold like that, and customers wouldn't continue to come back asking.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I wonder if there are any other cigar owners that experience the same thing.
I mean, you'd almost think there'd have to be, because I mean, surely that's not a unique thing just to you. But at the same time, like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't know, man. I'll say this, and I think this applies to, I think variations of this apply to all levels of the cigar industry. But I have some friends that are lounge owners, and they're great people. They're
Right.
great people. But every one of them that I've ever met, in one degree or another, they're kind of nuts. Some of them, they're nuts in a good way. Some of them, it's
Right.
like, oh, they'll do these awesome promotions that you're like, how the fuck did you think of that? And like, some of them they do off the wall stuff. Some of them are just straight up nuts. And again, I mean this with all love and respect to my lounge owner friends, because
Right.
we wouldn't be enjoying this hobby without you. But so, man, there are some that you're just like, how are you even still in business? And to your point, maybe that's the thing. It's like, hey, I see money here, but I'm going to walk away and do something else because, I can't. That doesn't make sense to me, but who knows?
But I always thought that was funny, man. I had to bring that out. If Keith was here, he'd be like, man, I'll tell you leave that shit alone. But I can't because I'm one of those. I'm a thinker. I'm one of those. Okay, if something's wrong, then I'm a serial entrepreneur. I need to understand how to fix it. But it ain't broken, and that's what Keith tell me all the time. It ain't broken.
Interesting.
It's not broken.
So what other issues and concerns do you have going on that you're dealing with? Because I'll bring one up. I saw it on your website, California.
Yeah, I'm glad you took it. You took it away from me. So we've been trying to get in that market now probably about a year.
Yeah.
All the new rules they got now, you got to be on some list. You got to pay X, Y, and Z amount of money per blend every year. So I think it's over $300 or around $300 or something. I got 9 blends that we run consistently. That's $2,700, right? Well, I got to take away 2 of my blends, which I definitely want to talk about is the mint condition and the chocolate tie, but we'll go later.
We'll get to all your blends, yeah.
So we can't even sell those in California, even though they're not infused or technically flavored. It has essence of mint in one and essence of chocolate in another, but it's not a chemical chocolate flavored or a chemical mint flavored.
But because it has it counts under their thing. Yeah.
And in the name, one is called mint condition. And that was the other part. We were told that even if it didn't have the essence of chocolate or mint in either one, by the name saying mint condition and chocolate tie, they will probably refuse us going onto the list.
Interesting.
So we missed out on, I think, 3 major orders the first time at TPE with you. The second time this year, probably 5. And then PCA, we definitely missed out on orders because of that.
Yeah.
Something that could have, elevated us in another part of the United States.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's one of those, what do you do? You're either spending the money, which, I mean, you guys are a small company and you're at it 6 years, but so I did the 2 Guys read earlier. Dave Garofalo owns 2 Guys. He always says it's 10 years to be an overnight sensation in the cigar industry. It's you're still relatively young in that regard. And so money's tight, and so you look at it and you're like, okay, is it worth spending however much, do all the paperwork, get it all filed, send in the stuff and everything to try and get on this list for California, to then open it up to these shops, and like, are these shops going to do a reorder? Are they going to like, and
Exactly.
if you go through all those hoops to do it, you got to make sure that those shops are committed to actually promoting it, pushing it, talking about it, and getting their customers engaged to where they actually, have the energy and drive to get a reorder to you.
Right. Right. And that's a decision. Like you said, it's from a small business. We discussed it. We actually spoke to someone. We're looking into it, but we haven't pulled the trigger. And that's one thing about Keith. Keith is a little more patient than I am.
Yeah.
I'm a goer. I'm going. Let's
I
do it.
get
Let's do
that.
it. Keith is like, whoa, hold up. Let's pause. Let's think about it. Let's do these type of things. Which that's why we pair. We that's funny. We pair well together.
That's good. No, that's good. You got to have a partner
Pair
that
well together.
you can bounce off of like that. That's a good thing. I'll tell you. So there's another manufacturer that I know, and he has said, he said it publicly. I'm not gonna. I won't name him just because I don't even know. I don't know what's going on with his brand, but he flat out said, like, when he rolled out his brand, he went nationwide with it because he had contacts, he had friends and everything else, and he went nationwide with it, and just kind of started. And he flat out said that in hindsight, if he would have, if he was doing it again, he would roll it out regionally, build up a region really, really hard, then expand the region a little bit more, expand a little bit more, expand, and eventually get to the point that you're coast to coast with it. Where are you guys? Like, obviously you went to TP and picked up clients. You're at PCA and picked up clients. You obviously had clients before the trade shows that you were supplying cigars to. Like, where are you guys? Are you guys all over the country? Are you very hyper, like, are you heavily concentrated in one region and then you're branching out, or how's that working?
Great question. So I do a lot of the marketing side, which I don't have any marketing background, but
Yeah.
I can see things that some people can't see for whatever reason, right? That's that conspiracy thing, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So when we originally started, we branded ourselves.
Okay.
2 branded cigars. So in our boxes and all that, we had pictures of ourselves. So we started in North Carolina. This is home.
Okay.
North Carolina is home. So, if you don't take care of home, then what do you got? So once we got North Carolina behind us, and there are some people that now like, oh, yeah, I want to talk to you now, but really didn't understand what it was in the beginning. So North Carolina got behind us. And then we transitioned. We took our pictures out the box, and then we went down south. We hit Georgia a little bit. We didn't go to South Carolina too much yet. Georgia, and Georgia has been amazing for us. And then next thing you know, went up to Virginia. So you're right. We're on the East Coast a little bit, right? Southeast region a little bit. Hit Florida a little bit, and then
Florida's a whole nother beast, man.
We jumped out to Vegas.
Okay.
So when you jump out to Vegas, and shout out to all 3 lounges that we out there. When we hit those lounges, it was important to us from a marketing perspective because everybody goes to Vegas.
Yeah.
So then they were like, what lounges you in? I'm in this lounge, that lounge. Oh, they heard about it.
Yeah.
So now those lounges are like a major resource. And then next thing you know, somebody in Utah. Now it's in the Utah area. Next thing you know,
what,
Ohio.
one of the like 5 places in Utah that you can get cigars? There you go.
So then you got Ohio, and now you got Pennsylvania. Now you got New Jersey. So we went south, west. Oh, Texas. I apologize. South, Midwest Texas, then Vegas, and then now New Jersey, the New York area, and will you believe we're going to the Poconos?
Look at you. Look at you.
So the Poconos is asking us to come.
All right.
So we're going up there, I think June 25th, more to come, but the Poconos, and so I think now the more people see that we're here 6 years, like you said, it takes 10. I
Yeah.
think now more people see that we done went over that 5-year mark. Now we're in that 10-year mark. We're very consistent at what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And the product speaks for itself. It's important. So to answer your question, kind of more so the southern region, Florida. We just got to hopefully we'll have a sales rep specifically in the Florida area.
Oh, that'll be big
And
for you.
that'll be
First,
big.
first employee. Look at
Yeah,
that.
sales rep. So, well, we got a sales rep now in Georgia.
Okay.
We
Okay.
got one in Vegas.
Oh, so you
Uh,
do have now? Are these reps or brokers?
well, they're reps for us,
Okay.
not
Okay.
really brokers. So,
So
there goes
they are employees of yours.
they speak on our behalf. They're up under the Black Stogies umbrella.
Yeah.
So when they need things out there in the area and we can't get, they can go provide events and different things, different spaces. We have our rep in Georgia that's going to do an event this weekend in Georgia, things of that nature. So we got people. Oh yeah, I guess you want to say reps or ambassadors. I like to
Okay.
say reps more so to speak, because an ambassador just displays. These
Yeah.
reps, they come and provide. They ain't just displaying; they provide. So yeah, I like to say our reps in the area.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, so that's good that you guys have some representation out there, and it's not just Keith doing everything. Because I mean, that's a lot of work for two people with the whole country and everything else. So I mean, yeah, I don't know how the hell you guys would be ever at home if you were just doing it, the two of you.
Last month I was home for 18 days.
Okay. I mean, so okay, about half the month you're gone. So yeah. Well, shit, man. Florida and Texas alone are too mad. Their markets just in and of themselves, you know. So yeah, you gotta have the representation in those spots to be able to hit so many places. Very cool, very cool. Well, so let's go over your lineup of blends here, because so I'm smoking the what was it? Is the cut the
professional cut.
professional cut? I was thinking
Yep.
perfect cut, and I'm like, that's not right.
But
It's
you know
not.
what? People say that. People say it all the time.
Okay.
They say the perfect cut. So we know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. So okay. So I'm smoking this, and I'll tell you. So it's smoking really well. The draw has been wonderful. The burn line is nice and straight. The smoke production on. I'm a big. When I have a cigar, I want that thing plume and smoke, man.
Right.
I don't want this wisp of smoke and everything. I want to be a borderline obnoxious with my smoke. It's like, if I'm smoking a cigar, I want a cloud, damn it. And this does that. But I'll say what's been nice is that it's a light kind of medium strength wise. Like, at no point has this thing like gotten to the point that I'm like, oh shit, this is a strong ass cigar. Or like, I'm doing a retrohale, and my people know that I have a habit of coughing on retrohales and things of that nature. But this has been nice and smooth and easy in that regard. So like, it's been a very enjoyable smoke.
And that's our key. So our master roller in Nicaragua, he used to actually roll for a major company.
Okay.
Who makes a lot of cigars. And that's one of the beauties about it, is that since he makes those he used to roll, we wanted to have again something very flavorful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that you could taste the notes and things of that nature. So that was super important to us. That medium smoke, we want you to be able to pair that with tequila or anything that you feel. And speaking of pairing, I use that lightly. You know what I mean? I use that very, very lightly, because a lot of people want to pair, ask cigars from bourbon, whiskey, tequila, things of that nature. But I always say to a person, pair it with what your palate's like, because everybody don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I hear people like
I got my iced
Dr.
tea over here.
Peppers, different things of that nature.
Yeah.
I
I drink iced tea with mine, man.
That's my favorite. I swear to God, I'm glad you said it. That's my favorite.
Big old iced tea
with it. Yeah.
Yep. No, it's nice and refreshing with it, and it doesn't do much to the palate. So I get the cigar. It's clean. So I don't get much with the drink. And
right.
No, I dig it.
So and a lot of full body smokers, you know, they really enjoy that because that's like a midday smoke or a coming to the end, need to charge a coming to the end type of cigar, you know, and it pairs well, like I said, with pretty much wine, whiskey, sweet tea, anything that you can think of.
Well, and it's not a big nicotine bomb to where like I'm worried that like, oh shit, I'm gonna be up all night, you know, wired laying in bed and feeling my heart thumping, you know, it's like that kind of thing. It's like sometimes, man, I do that. I have the, you know, when you smoked the wrong cigar right before bed and you're laying there and you're just like, your breathing is just a little, and like, you're just like, you know, that thumping of the chest and you're like, oh, fuck, I
Right.
nicotine bomb myself, you know? So yeah, it happens. It happens. So okay, so let's go over the line.
Okay. All right. So you want to go from the website down or just my memory?
You
Whichever works.
just do whatever you want to do.
So let's go. We have the Boss Hall, which is a pig fly.
Yep.
We have the chocolate tie. We have the mint condition.
And those are the two that have the essence of chocolate and mint to them.
Yep. And they're two different cigars. A lot of people love to say the chocolate mint.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, they're totally two different, you know, cigars. You have the Oak City, you have the Professional Cut, you have the Black Onyx. That's a sleeper. The Boss Hog and the Black Onyx are sleepers for a lot of people. We just had someone, I love people giving their opinions, stated that, you know, we can challenge RP. We'll just say that for for shits and giggles, right?
Yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know, I'm very thankful and show a lot of gratitude that they feel that way. We got that's continuously running. Yep. So we got the Boss Hog, mint condition, chocolate tie, Professional Cut, the Black Onyx, Black Knight, the Oak City. I'm missing one. Mint condition, and then of course we got the 1911.
Okay. Yes, and let's talk about the 1911 because that was the new one that you guys premiered at PCA.
Right. The 1911 is amazing. So Keith created this cigar.
I'm sorry, King Solomon.
There it is. That's the one that's missing. How could I miss the King Solomon? I apologize. That's a very unique cigar. We call that the King Solomon because it's a Salomon shape.
Okay.
It's a Salomon shape, and if you talking about numbers, the mint condition is our number one seller.
Okay.
Hands down. That mint condition is a shocker for a lot of people because a lot of people, they love to say, oh, I don't like mint. Or they'll say, oh, I don't want no flavor. But once you try it, we done had people smoking cigars 50 years, new beginners, no matter what. It's only one person in 6 years that ever told me that it was not for them.
Okay. That's impressive.
Only one person.
Okay. So going back, we were talking 1911.
Yep.
So yeah, so tell me about that.
So the 1911, it's a double Corona. It's a 7558. It's the largest cigar that we definitely have within our continued rotation. Nicaraguan wrapper, Mexican wrapper. Binder is Habano, and it's a Candela Esteli, and I said Legueros. Did I say right? Legueros. I can't. It don't come off the tongue right. It's very unique. We created the 1911 to reflect and pay homage to my fraternity as well, Keith fraternity. So our fraternities were both founded in 1911. Okay. Mine was January 5th. His is in November, if I'm not making a mistake. But I apologize, Keith. But they were always rivalries, so to speak. But the beauty about it, both our fraternities are based off of community service.
Okay.
And for us, I think for them, it's like perseverance. For us, it's altruism. So you got to have perseverance to do certain things. Altruism is unselfish concern for the welfare of others. So kind of like the same thing, right? That we're there to help each other. So we created our boxes for PCA as a unity box. So it's a box of 12. Half was the 1911 Bunny blend. The other half was 1911 the Dog blend. So we did a unity box to show people that we can come together in unity.
And the bunny and the dog.
Right. So they're like unofficial mascots.
Okay.
Of course, our cigars are not affiliated with our fraternities by no means.
Yes.
But we wanted to pay homage towards our fraternities. So we have the unofficial bunny from my fraternity side, and they have the unofficial dog from his fraternity side. So, but now we done showed everybody we can come together, but now we done tore that away. So now we have the official top the same, we have the official bottom the same, right? But now we're coming out with an actual official dog blend only 12 and an official bunny blend with 12.
Okay. So if somebody wants to pick a side, they can pick a side.
Right.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And obviously you guys premiered that at PCA. What has been, I mean, it's been what, a month, but like what's been the response so far just in that month?
It's been amazing. So for PCA, we sold if I'm not making a mistake, 100 boxes.
Okay.
100 boxes. I need a charger. 100 boxes. You know, so we did.
You got to charge people. You got,
yes, 100 boxes. So it was amazing. You know, so now everybody's asking for it. Everybody's asking for it.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna do a release at our home lounge, and we're gonna go from there.
Sounds good. I love it.
So it's a very unique cigar. We got a lot of feedback on it. We released it at PCA, so we allow all lounges to get that particular blend before anybody else.
Okay,
so
and
now
that's full production, right? It's not like a limited deal or anything. It's just a new addition to the line.
Yeah, the number 5 went very well. Everybody's asking to bring that back. I've told Keith that's totally up to him. You know, I'll let him deal with that battle. And we have 2 new blends, 2 more blends coming soon.
Okay, all right. Yep. So you guys,
and that's going to be a little different. That's going to be Indian tobacco.
Indian tobacco.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Okay,
it's phenomenal. Yes, Indian tobacco.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
So like we touched on earlier about how like every one of your blends only comes in the one vitola that you offer, right? Have you considered expanding out and saying like, all right, we have a 6x60 of the professional cut. Let's do a robusto, or let's do you know what I mean? Have you considered like adding vitolas to pre-existing blends?
We have, but no one. We have in general as business owners, but no one actually said it needs to be a different size. Now, the only one that anybody has said to be a different, they would like to have the professional cut in a Connecticut leaf.
Oh, okay. Kind of add. See, I'll be honest. I'm smoking this thing, and I don't think it needs to be more mild.
Right.
Like I feel like it's in a perfect place right now. I mean, like this is not a cigar that's like slitting anybody's throat,
Right.
And I don't know if going a Connecticut route with it would do anything to enhance it. In fact, I mean, I'm very picky about my Connecticut cigars. I tend to think that Connecticut wrapper, at times, I can think of some examples that don't have this, but the tendency is that they kind of have a little bit of a bitter quality to it. And I don't know if that would go well with this. I don't know. That would be one of those ones that you'd have to make one and try
we're gonna play with it, right?
And play with it and see. But I don't know. I don't know if that would be. I don't know.
I'm gonna switch gears on you real quick. So you've been on the website, right?
Yeah, I've been on the website.
So did you realize the Black Knight and the Mint Condition have the same wrapper?
Yeah, it's dark as midnight.
But you also notice the Mint Condition is mild and the Black Knight is a full body. We did that on purpose.
Okay.
We did that because when we got into the business, of course, we used to vend other cigars. So everybody used to come to our table and used to say, yo, that's a dark cigar. That's too strong for me. I don't want to touch it. So we realized that we wanted to change the mindset. And we tried to, I told you, I'm a thinker. We try to make people think about what they're doing. And they do it now. When they say the mint condition, they're like, oh, that's got to be too strong. No. So we did it on purpose to have the same wrapper. Totally different flavor profiles. Totally different strengths. The mint condition is mild.
Okay.
The Black Knight is a full body. So we wanted to have people who just smoke like a sweet cigar or smoke this or afraid to change their palate. We wanted to give you the culture of what real cigar smoking is about. Okay. So we wanted to change the mindset. And we do that a lot with our cigars.
So I assume the difference between the two, aside from just the mint extract, would be the binder and filler offer the strength with the Black Knight.
Definitely.
Whereas, okay, all right.
Definitely.
Oh, yep. There you go.
And we played around and we toggle with other blends, which we might do a split box again, but we might do like Eaton's palette versus Keith's palette.
Okay.
You know, type of things. Like we want to have fun with our product. And then also we want to create, sometimes you might have a full body palette, you might have a medium. We thought about doing a blend with a mild, a medium, and a full body. You've never seen that before. You heard it first here.
In the same cigar or in the same box?
In the same box.
See, I think it would be really interesting. And I don't even know the logistics of this. This is something.
Yes. Give it to me. We love to listen.
Off the top of my head, I don't even know if this is even feasible. But boy, wouldn't it be interesting? Everyone talks about first third, second third, final third. Wouldn't it be an interesting experiment if that first third is just a nice, smooth, easy, mild? Then that, then you get to the medium, and then it really just like to where the final third and the first third is totally different from one another. And
that's the Black Knight.
Okay.
That's the Black Knight.
So the Black Knight starts off nice and mild?
Oh, yeah. We call it third gear. Okay. So, no, let me not say we got it. I'm going to say it on the record. My man, Cigar Mike, out of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if you know Cigar Mike.
Right.
He called it third gear. So it was funny. We were in Vegas and we were in Tap Ash, and Mike got it. So he hit it. He got a draw on it, and he was like, oh, man, I can do this in the morning. This is my coffee. I enjoy this. Nothing. We watched him sit in the corner. He was sitting here at first. Next thing you know, you seen him sitting like this. And then when you saw him cross that leg like this.
It got him. All right.
So the Black Knight, I'm telling you, we call it the third gear. It shifts every gear.
Okay.
The Black Knight definitely, for a lot of smokers, they run because of the leaf.
Yeah.
It's so dark. It's called a Negro leaf. It's a tradition that's created in Nicaragua, and that's what I said. What I love about it, our manufacturer is not just a factory.
Okay,
it's family. This is something that's coming from within their family, generation after generation. Something that's not going to die, and that was the other thing you asked me about. Why do we pick that factory?
Yeah,
it's never going to die.
There you go. No, that's important.
That's extremely important.
Yeah,
extremely important.
Having that consistency is important. So that's awesome. Well, Eaton, where can people find out more information about Black Stogies?
Real simple. You can go to Instagram. You can follow us, Black Stogies. You can go to TikTok, Black Stogies Cigar Company. You can go to Facebook, Black Stogies Cigar Company, and of course our website, blackstogies.com. We'll open email. You can also email us at blackstogies@gmail.com. Give us 24 to 72 hours to respond, but I guarantee you we'll probably respond within the first 3 hours. So that's where you can find us at. Locations. We don't have them all on the website, but we have a lot because sometimes, location, people get tired of scrolling. Look for your city. They're coming. Please go to your lounge. Please ask your lounges to inquire about Black Stogies. It's been amazing. Now, before we even go any further, I got one other thing I got to ask about lounges.
All right.
We provide samples to lounges. We have 8 blends, right? Does a lounge need to have all 8 blends to make a decision? Oh, excuse me, 9 blends now. Does a lounge need to test all 9 blends to make a decision? And if so, why? Not to you, but to people watching. But I want to hear your point too. I want to hear your view too.
I guess it's a matter of like, if you want them to consider all 9, then I would say provide all 9. But you obviously have your sales data to where like what cigar blends are more because let's be real, you got 9. They're not all selling in perfect equal numbers. You've got some that are selling at the top, and then, not that they're selling nothing, but there may be some that aren't selling nearly as much. So maybe
it depends on the lounge.
And that's the other thing. It does depend on the lounge. And so maybe the thought is, send your top 3, maybe make them diversified. If like, let's say your top 3, the mint and the chocolate are both listed there, pick one, and say, we also offer this in mint or we also offer this in chocolate. But diversify it up to where it's like, okay, we have this, which is our mint and chocolate line. We've got this that has this, and then we've got the, maybe like your Connecticut and one of the professional cuts or something, just kind of vary it up. That would be my thought, but I don't know. There might be lounge owners out there saying, no, send us everything. And, but I could see where that's just we want free cigars. So, I don't know. I guess it all depends on the lounge.
We always ask the lounges, what majority sells in your lounge. Is it Connecticut? Is a Maduro? Is a pig fly? Is it, what? And that's another thing that's very important to us. We don't just send you a cigar because you want to try a cigar. Yeah. But the other part transitioning to that question is you don't try major brands like that.
True.
I gotta say it. I apologize, but I gotta say it. You don't do major brands like that.
No.
And major brands will have a cigar that come out and you have no clue what it is or what it's about, but they trust it. And I apologize by being direct, but I'm just honest.
The only thing I would say to that is track record counts. And it's one of those things where, like if we're talking about like, let's say General Cigars or Altadis, the big boys, Drew Estate, there's another one. It's like, they've been around long enough, they put out enough, and they've made a lot of lounges, a lot of money. And so, that there's that. Whereas, for you're coming in and these lounge owners this might be the first time they're interacting with you. It might be a first time, bringing you in or considering bringing you in and everything. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that it's necessarily fair, but I do think to that point, my only devil's advocate comment would be that track record counts, and they figure, well, all these other cigars that this company has done has made me money, so I'll go ahead and take a shot on this and whatever else. Just a thought.
But I'm gonna play the devil's advocate with you.
Okay.
But how often do we just try other things? Think about it, just in general. How often do we just try? Right.
I mean, I smoke all kinds of shit. So that's the nature of my thing,
But you see what I'm saying? But let's take it to restaurant food, right?
Yeah.
Go to a restaurant and you see something on the menu, right? And you say, that looks appetizing. Let me try it. It could be the worst shit that you ever tried, but it also could be the best. But you took a gamble, and that's all I'm saying. Not just Black Stogies, and I want to make that clear. I'm saying this for a lot of people in this industry, right?
Yeah.
Not just Black Stogies. All I'm saying is to any lounge owner or anybody, what does it hurt to take a gamble on something that you see that's enticing to you and try it? It doesn't hurt anything. That can be a starting point to something that's great, or it could be something that's just not for me. And it happens all the time. We do food, we can races, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Indy 500, right? So
it
was great in the beginning, right? And then it can that's not me. Or it could be the first impression is the worst impression, right? But also sometimes in these lounges, they don't treat a product that could be up and coming or could be the next thing like they're treating premium brand cigars. And all I'm saying is, I don't like the word fair. It's not fair. I don't want to use the word fair.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the word fair. I believe in the word give it a try. Give it a try. And then, but you also got to use your discretion too, right? Use your discretion. Do your homework. If somebody there 1 year, and I ain't trying to be funny, yeah, I get it. It's like okay, 2 years, okay, 3 years, okay. But now with social media, you can see where everybody's going. You can see what they're doing. You can actually use a reference. We have a lounge in Atlanta. In Atlanta, he's not even giving restrictions. He says, I don't care where you sell your cigar, but they're so great. Use me as a resource. But that's the type of stuff that I'm saying, as in who, not just us, but anybody, because it's almost like I look at us as us being on American Idol.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it that way, but we're displaying our talent. But you got to be open to see what we're doing. And I'm talking all boutique cigar brands, all small batch or whatever you want to call it, right? At least be open. And that's that's one of my personal biggest issues. And I might get in trouble with keeping this, but that's one of my personal biggest issues, that lounge owners or business owners or whatever, mobile lounges, at least do your homework. Look into it, attempt to hear them out. A lot of times they'll write you off. And it has happened in our 6 years. And guess what? What has happened? They've come back around.
Yeah.
Why do you need other people to validate that person's product?
It's a good question.
I'm off my soapbox. I apologize. I'm off my soapbox.
It's an interesting point to discuss. I think, look, the real answer obviously comes down to, I think it's all based on the individual lounge, and there's so many different factors. Part of it I could see, look, again, going back to what I was saying before, just using them as an example, Drew Estate, they've been around a long time, and they have their track record. When a customer comes into a shop and they see an Undercrown or an Acid or whatever it happens to be, there's a high percentage that if they haven't tried that, there's at least something from that portfolio that they've tried, and they have some base knowledge of what they're offering. And so that shop doesn't necessarily have to work as hard to sell something from that portfolio to that customer. That customer is going to say, oh, I've had that before, I'm going to try one of those, and whereas,
but they had to start though.
This is true.
Nick, they had to start though. I apologize for interrupting. They had to start somewhere. So somebody had to introduce them to that particular cigar.
And that brings me to my point. And this is a problem that I think a lot of retailers have. And this is me, offering constructive criticism to those retailers. Is they have to hand sell. They gotta promote. They gotta promote your brand. They gotta work a little harder, I guess is my point, to promote your brand to their customers. And some of them are willing to do that, and some of them are not willing to do that. And that gets into a whole deeper discussion about retailers and how there are businessmen and there are clubhouse owners. And I think there are a lot of shop owners where their shop is just their personal clubhouse where they get together with their group of buddies and they smoke. And if they sell some cigars in the process, then as long as it breaks even, then hey, they're happy. They got a place to go and smoke, whereas like, there are other guys that like, hey, it's a business and we're trying to make money. And, if this product can make me money, then I want to promote that product. So there's a lot of factors to that, but I think part of it is just effort. So I don't know.
I accept. No, I accept. And again, I told you I'm a thinker. So, and we've noticed that, every product ain't good, right? Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. I apologize. Let me apologize. Every product is not a person's palate.
Not for everybody. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, right? So, but for me, and I don't own a lounge by no means, right? Maybe I might soon, but who knows, right? But if any product that I got coming into my establishment, at the end of the day, my goal is to sell it. I don't care if it's
you would think
boutique. I don't care if it's premium. I don't care if it's whatever. My goal is to sell it.
Yeah.
And now a lot of people are catching on to humidor managers, right?
Yeah.
Or cigar aficionados that's running these humidors and stuff like that. Yeah, you were right. And I'm all for it. And I'm gonna drop a dime. And I'm gonna say this name and I apologize. But my master roller, I didn't say, remember I said he worked for a prominent company before? He was one of Drew Estate's top rollers.
Okay.
That's why I believe in craftsmanship. Look at my cigar. Look at the cigar you smoking.
Yeah.
It's extremely, extremely important. But all I'm saying too is consumers as well as business owners, everybody love to say they're cigar smokers. What I took from that, if you're a cigar smoker, you should be able to look at a cigar and see the craftsmanship. You should be able to see its roll perfectly. The first thing you said was the draw was phenomenal. Now, if I'm wrong, please tell me. How many times did you relight that cigar?
I haven't relit it. There was like once or twice I hit it with just like a little spot that I hit with just a little fire.
But you see my point, right? Because we're talking.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're talking. If we wasn't talking and you was enjoying it, it'll be a whole different ball game. But that's normal. That's normal cigar life. And even if from a spot, I was always taught and told and showed a real cigar will correct itself.
Yes.
But what do we do or how do we do it for lounge owners, consumers, small business, big business, whatever? Because with these bigger companies, if you got a cigar that didn't burn right, guess what? They'll never know.
Yeah.
They never care. From a small cigar company, we want to know.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Care. We want to do those things. And I can't figure out, you will go and gamble on whatever name brand, let's not even say cigars, whatever name brand, whatever, right? Yep. A bottle of bourbon that you never had, right? But you won't gamble on a cigar that you don't want to try because it's small batch or because it's not a premium name. We got to change that culture. That's what I mean. We got to change that ideology. We got to change the thought process behind that. I'm a big fan of smoking Black Stogies. I'm going to be honest with you. But I tell you what, I will buy, and Keith probably lungs are done. I will buy any and every cigar from who did it, why. Because Keith is the master smoker. I know that's not my thing. So I can't sit there and smoke it and say, oh, this is not good. When Keith smoke it, I want him to say, those notes was this. So when he goes back and he wants to roll or create something, I need him to want to create it. But we also need other people in the smoking environment to try these different cigars, because boutique cigars, to what I'm understanding, and I hate to use the word. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like
I
the
get
word boutique cigars. I can't stand it. And to my understanding, only reason why we call boutique is because we ain't pay a certain amount of money to be in the premium category. That's if I'm wrong, I apologize.
I always heard it was just the amount of cigars you're putting out. That it's kind of this like kind of subcategory of like, for whatever reason, people call it that because like, oh, you're a small company
what's
versus
the
like,
number?
whatever, 500,000.
Well, you see my point, right? What's the number?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a good question. But
What's the
like,
number?
I've heard kind of 500,000 is kind of the general kind of benchmark. If you're putting out more than 500,000 cigars a year, then whatever. So,
So
but
if I'm doing, let's just say I'm doing 10,000 cigars a month, right?
yeah,
So if I'm doing 120,000 cigars in a year, I'm still small batch. Come on, stop that.
I mean,
Stop that.
well, I think, and I also think it's kind of a personal mindset. You've got a mindset of like, look, we're gonna get bigger, we're gonna keep going, and we're not gonna diminish ourselves. Some people, like, dude, I mean, and it's not just cigars, it's liquor and all kinds of different things. Some people geek out on the prospect of getting that small batch, that boutique or whatever it is. And it's like, I mean, I guess if you think small, you're always gonna be small.
I
So in
don't
your
think that way.
case, you're not thinking small, and so there you go.
I don't think that way.
There you go.
But yeah, I ain't gonna get my conspiracy theory in there.
There
But
you go.
at the same time, I just know that in this culture, everybody say respect is a big word, right?
Yeah.
Respect. So respect. Respect all levels of it. I can go to and drop X, Y, and Z amount of money on PCA, and guess what? They'll have me sitting at the front. I don't want to sit at the front because I'm dropping money.
Yeah.
I want to sit at the front because of my product. I'm gonna leave it there. I want to sit at the front because of my product, not because I'm dropping money.
I'm happy with the product. I'm smoking this thing down low, man. It's like this is good. I'm smoking this thing down low. So, well, Eaton, it has been a pleasure to talk to you. There's all kinds of topics that I'm sure we could get to on a future conversation. Seems like
have us back.
You have opinions, and I like that. That's
have
good.
Us back.
So there you go. Well, buddy, once again, blackstogies.com for everyone who wants to learn more about you. Otherwise, you have a nice evening.
Appreciate you. Peace.
Thank you so much.
And I really want to thank Eaton for taking so much time out of his day to chat with me. It was a good conversation. We went all over the place and touched on a variety of topics. And I think there's some topics that we definitely could dive deeper into. I think that would be some worthwhile conversation. But anyway, I appreciate your time, Eaton. Well, now that we are finished with the interview, let's go ahead and jump into this. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. All right. So, in terms of what I've been watching lately, truthfully, I've been super busy. Haven't watched a lot except my normal wrestling. But I'm going to preview a few things that I'm excited for. Now, full disclosure, this obviously is being recorded before the day it comes out. The day it comes out is Friday the 22nd. And what is happening on Friday the 22nd that I am super excited for? The Weenie 500. The Weenie 500 is the second annual race that's going to take place at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, put on by Oscar Mayer. And so they have, I think, like 5 or 6 different Wiener mobiles that are going to race around the track at IMS. And it's part of the Carb Day celebrations and everything. And guys, it's funny as shit. It's 6 Wiener mobiles just flying around the track at IMS. And so if this sounds remotely as interesting to you as it does to me, coverage on that will start on Fox and Fox 1 at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, they're gonna have the Wienermobile race. I mean, that's awesome, and I think we should celebrate ridiculous shit like that. Otherwise, it's kind of a full weekend for me in terms of like major, one, whatever sporting event. So I have, I am going to the 500, again this weekend. And so I'll be, out there with my dad and my uncle. And so we'll be at IMS. And so if any of you happen to be, at the track and everything like that, just look, I'll be around. Our seats are kind of in the inside near the pagoda, we've got nice seats. So, I'm around. I don't know. I question, I never know if smoking cigars is allowed there. Cause, I didn't think so, but then like I've seen guys in like the gravel parking lot, like in the inside, prior to the race starting having cigars. So I never know. And I just kind of, and maybe it's me being too courteous. I always just kind of default to no, you probably can't. But I don't know. Maybe in some parts it's okay. I'll have to look it up. But I've got the Indy 500 this weekend that I'm looking forward to watching. And then on the same day, but I'll catch it the next day because, you can only do so much. And I'm going to be so exhausted that evening. There's no way I'm going to be able to have the energy for it. But the wrestling promotion that I watch, AEW, they're having a big pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, in New York that night. And I've purchased that on HBO. And so I'll watch the replay, Monday. And but that's not a small thing. It's their second. By the time it's all said and done, they've sold it out. It's over 14,000 people attending. It's in it's in some stadium. Where's it at? I should know this, but bottom line, it's not a small thing, and it's are they going to say Louis Armstrong Stadium, Arthur Ashe Stadium, in I guess it's the same place, just named after, two different people, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, so it's a big deal. And so that's going to happen, that night. And, I'm looking forward to seeing, the main event with Darby Allin and, MJF, cause I want to see if MJF's going to get his hair shaved. Cause if he loses, he has to shave his hair. And it's been a whole big thing. So yeah, I got some fun stuff to look forward to watching. But right now I haven't really watched much of anything new and exciting. So there's that. Well, it's that time that I tell you about the socials. I am available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I am available on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. It's a private group. You can request access, get in on there, share what you're smoking. I am on Twitter /X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. And if you are interested in my Wednesday drive time reviews, I put those out every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central. They are available on YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. And boy, TikTok has just been like a platform for me. I mean, that has been nothing. Everybody hypes up TikTok. And maybe I'm just not doing TikTok right, which is possible. It's more than possible. But, I put up my reviews, my drive time reviews, and TikTok, they said, what did they tell me? They put up a little notice on my account. They said that my account is ineligible for recommendation because I am promoting tobacco use. But, 20 of you have found me on TikTok at least. So I have some followers. Or no, I'm sorry. That's who I'm following. I have 23 followers. So I have some followers, but yeah, realistically, TikTok is not a big platform for me, and that's fine because it doesn't need to be. But anyway, so if you're interested in the drive time reviews, I do those every Wednesday. The most recent one I did was of the new Undercrown El Tigre from Drew Estate. And then I need your calls for Ask the Pulpit. You can give the hotline a call at area code 863-874-0822. That's 863-874-0000 or tofu pie with no E 0000. And then finally, there is the Cigar Chronicle newsletter. If you are not signed up for that, head on over to cigarpulpit.com. Little pop-up box comes up there, and you can put in your email address. And if you are a lounge owner, I am still looking for cigar shops, cigar lounges, that are interested in receiving print copies when I finally get them up and running. Should be very, very, very soon. And anyway, once we get those going, then you get them free, and they're free to your customers. They're just, little books or little programs that they can read and, have something to look at in the lounge other than their phone. So, and it gives them some cigar information. So it's nice and goofy stuff too. So if you're interested in getting that for your shop or lounge, you can email me at nick@cigarpulpit.com, and I would be happy to add you to the list to mail you those. Otherwise, the other thing I wanted to announce, again, just as a gentle reminder, we are having another Zoom HERF here soon. The next one will be on Friday, May 29th. So a week from when this episode drops, you will there'll be a Zoom HERF that night. Starts at 6 p.m. Central. And if you need the login information for that, there should be a post in the parishioners group with that login information in the comments. I think I may have put up a post on Instagram with that as well. And then also, if you're not on the socials, just email me, Nick, Nick, @cigarpulpit.com, and I will email you the login information, and you can join us. It'll be fun. It's super casual. It's basically a throwback to what we all did during COVID, when we're all sitting around in our garages and on our patios and logging into Zoom and just, Zooming and smoking with people. So it's just a fun time. It's a way to connect with, in a very casual environment. And I don't record it, so everybody can just say all the wretched shit that they want to say. So it works out well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking time out. I really do appreciate it. And, we'll be back on Tuesday with more shenanigans. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpits. I'm Nick. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Later, guys.